The Purhepecha is a community collective that was created about over a decade ago as a response to a lot of community feeling the desire to reconnect with the Purhepecha traditions and customs that we have, where a lot of us know us from Michoacán, Mexico.
COVID-19. La primera vez que lo escuché en un levantamiento, ya ve las costumbres que tenemos nosotros los purépechas. Recuerdo que el 14 de marzo, ¿verdad? Yo recibo mensajes de mi trabajo. Me dicen, ¿sabes qué? Nosotros vamos a cerrar.
Para la comunidad que tiene sus documentos no fue lo mismo como la comunidad que no los tiene. Desde ahí miré una desigualdad muy grande, porque yo dije, se dio un cheque, pero también ahí fueron excluidos la gente que no tenía que no teníamos o que no tiene sus documentos. Ahí también fue una desigualdad muy grande porque yo digo, es gente que trabaja duro y lo mucho que a veces nuestra gente se esfuerza por salir adelante, por hacer buen trabajo, trabajos que otras personas no quieren hacer.
Una despensa comunitaria. Nosotros decíamos, si de pronto mero esta situación nos deja sin trabajo, ya no podemos salir de las casas, por lo menos vamos a tener comida. Después empezamos a abogar por los recursos que estaban anunciando en la radio, en la televisión, para que fueran más accesibles para la comunidad. Como por ejemplo ayudar a la comunidad para que se vacune con la campaña de la despensa comunitaria que estaban haciendo ustedes, pues me ayudó mucho. Ahí sí ayudan, ¿no? Ahí sí es algo real, dan comida de muy buena calidad.
Because my whole family got it, and then my partner's family got it too, and then we lost his grandpa.
For most of us, we have to deal with what's going on here in our direct communities that we live and engage with on the daily, but then also hearing what's going on in our homeland. My mom was like, oh, there's a funeral today, we have to send money. There's a funeral again tomorrow, we have to send money.
It was super important that, especially among these times of COVID-19, and we see mutual aid across the country being popped up, that it doesn't lose its roots, that this concept comes from Indigenous communities, because a lot of us have not been able to historically work with the governments that have taken over our territories, and have had to create alternative ways and even in ancestral practices on how community takes care of each other.
Like mutual aid is it's like love and care for your community.
It's not just helping, it's also making these changes so that it is eventually more accessible to the community.
How do we make sure that we're practicing this during times of COVID-19 to make sure that we have each other above everything?
Is to really, hopefully, that these structures listen to us and are willing to make the changes so that we are able to get the resources and then are able to distribute them to our community.
And when people are letting you know that the forms you're using, the applications you're using, the systems you're using are inaccessible, to actually sit on that and ask for community to tell you what will make it more accessible and actually make those changes.
But this is only the beginning of what a lot of people are going to see as young people from Indigenous communities to start doing that work and start letting it known that it's not okay, and that there needs to be language access, there needs to be technology access, there needs to be resources allocated to Indigenous communities. And it is a lie that a lot of these different orgs have the capacity in order to work with Indigenous communities, because we know that is not true, and it has been proven to not be true.
I think one of your questions is why is this project important? And I think it's important, hopefully never again, but maybe our children might have to, or our grandchildren might have to go through a pandemic, that they're able to find these records and able to look at them, reflect, and able to do their part, able to support. And even if it's not our kids or children or our family lineage, it's somebody in the community comes back and oh, this is how the Purhepecha community did it back in 2020, 2021. I think it's very important to keep this as a time capsule, to also bring hope to our community if we ever go through a struggle like this again.